Welcome, dear friends, as we embark on a sacred journey into the heart of divine grace and eternal light. People are currently living in fear of you, chosen one, and it's all because of something you discovered about them that they didn't want you to discover. It's not paranoia, despite their restless nights, compulsive phone monitoring, and panic attacks whenever your name is mentioned. They are consumed by remorse because they are aware that you have exposed their well-crafted lies. Someone attempted to ruin you and failed terribly, and now they fear that you will reveal the true nature of their character beneath the facade they have been putting on for the public. They're going crazy with fear right now because they can sense it in their bones that your time is coming. Those who once had access to your energies are going crazy trying to figure out what happened. And something exceptional has been occurring to you lately. You've been retreating, withdrawing from people, situations, and surroundings that used to exhaust you. You may believe that you are simply being antisocial or defending your peace, but in reality, you are making others who used to take pleasure in your outbursts extremely afraid. You've turned into what I refer to as a popular loner. Everyone wants to know what you're doing, what's on your mind, and what you're going to do next. But you're keeping it a secret. You're keeping to yourself and concentrating on your personal development. But some folks are going crazy over your silence. They're phoning friends they have in common to inquire about you. They are obsessively searching your social media accounts for hints regarding your mental health. They are arriving at locations they believe you may be in the hopes of accidentally running into you, since you've blocked them from your primary identities. Some of them are even making fictitious accounts to monitor your activity. It took time for this change to occur. You've gone through a difficult time when you felt alone, possibly even abandoned. You had to confront some harsh realities about people you trusted, and you had to decide whether to continue living in dysfunction or to leave it all behind. You choose to leave, and something strong awoke within you as you walked away. Over time, your discernment gift began to work. Without their uttering a single word, you started to see through their masks. You would be smiling and nodding in a chat with someone when you realized that they had been discussing you behind your back for just a few hours. You gained the extraordinary capacity to discern people's genuine motivations, covert plans, and underlying grievances. The truly crazy part, you were no longer even in need of confirmation. Your instincts would advise you to keep your distance from someone, and you would later discover that they were spot on. You began deleting people from your social media accounts, turning down invitations, and even blocking some people because something inside of you was telling you that they were bad for you. Yellow heart if you feel the divine love. Now is the time to share. Click the super thank you button on YouTube to contribute $50 or more and help us spread God's blessings. What you do is being watched and serves as a seed, and in the future it will come back to you a millionfold. You started to put your inner wisdom ahead of what other people thought. You stopped making an effort to be kind and courteous when someone's vibe seemed wrong. You stopped making excuses for why you felt that way after spending time with someone who left you feeling exhausted. When someone's behavior didn't align with their words, you stopped assuming the best about them. They took note. Yes, they did notice. As I speak to you now, several people from your past are having intense dreams about you. They wonder why you keep showing up in their subconscious when they wake up in a cold sweat. They can't get rid of the idea that something is coming, that their behavior towards you will eventually catch up with them in unexpected ways. Some of these dreams are warnings from the prophets. Others are only the manifestation of their guilty conscience when they are asleep. In any case, you're living rent-free in their minds without even trying, and they're waking up more exhausted than when they went to bed. Knowing your opponents is essential to knowing your own power. So let me to break down just who we're dealing with here. Actually, there are 5 different types of people that are afraid of you right now, and each one symbolizes a different facet of your expanding power. 1. The Keeper of Secrets. This individual is carrying something they really don't want you to see. Perhaps it's something they did to you personally, like ruining a chance, spreading untruths about you, or breaking a trust you had with them. Perhaps it's something you saw about their private life when they believed no one was looking, such as extramarital affairs, addictions, criminal activity, or just plain hypocrisy that would ruin their reputation if it were discovered. They believe you have facts that could ruin their carefully cultivated reputation. Every day that passes without them hearing from you makes them worry if this is the day that you will finally speak out. They've most likely even begun to distance themselves from pals they share out of concern that you may have already shared what you know. 2. The ineffective destroyer. This individual made a sincere attempt to psychologically destroy you. They propagate untruths intended to harm your reputation in the workplace. They used well-crafted lies in an attempt to turn your friends against you. They gaslight you, played mind games, and attempted to cause you to question your own memories and views. They exerted every effort to cause you to doubt yourself and abandon your goals. They anticipated that you would quietly leave their zone of influence, concede defeat, recognize your dominance, and withdraw permanently. Rather, you came out stronger. You're doing well. You're developing. Since their entire worldview is predicated on the notion that the strongest predator prevails, they are unable to comprehend the fact that you are accomplishing things they never believed you were capable of. 3. The vampire of energy. These are the folks who used to take advantage of your emotional outbursts, your propensity for drama, your propensity to over-explain yourself, or your desire for their acceptance. They could argue with you and know that you would respond, providing them with hours of amusement and emotional support. You simply don't now. You don't respond. You don't give an explanation. You don't pursue. You don't respond to their charges by defending yourself. They're famished without your energy, and you've learned to let their words fall into voids. Their typical supply source has completely dried up, and they are in a panic. For the envious onlookers, despite never having spoken to you personally, these individuals harbored a deep-seated animosity against your innate abilities, prospects, connections, and potential. For years, they have hoped that you would be humbled by life, that you would fail at something important, and that you would show that you were not as unique as you appeared to be. Rather, they're seeing your advancement in ways that, in contrast, make their own lives appear uninteresting. Your development is making them face their own shortcomings, justifications, and self-imposed constraints. Their own unrealized potential is reflected in your accomplishment, and they despise what they see. 5. The spiritual assailants. These are those who have been purposefully sending you bad vibes because they understand how energy works. They may refer to it as prayer. They may refer to it as manifestation. They may refer to it as intention setting. But in reality, they are attempting to employ concentrated mental energy to curse your path and obstruct your advancement. Some of them are intentionally doing this, fully aware of what they are trying to do. Unconsciously, other people are causing energetic interference in your life by constantly wishing for awful things to happen to you. In any case, they are going to discover that you get back a lot more than you gave. These individuals are all going through something they never anticipated, repercussions for their behavior towards you that don't involve any effort on your part. You've always had a straightforward operational philosophy. You think that life should be lived and let live. You don't intentionally harm others, even those who have harmed you. You believe that the universe will find a way to balance things out, so you don't feel the need to exact revenge or engage in unethical behavior. Your philosophy has always been, do whatever you want, just don't hurt anybody. The people who have attempted to hurt you are absolutely perplexed by this thinking, since they are operating from a very different place. They make the assumption that everyone shares their viewpoint, which is that if someone has authority over you, they will use it to ruin you. They then project their own mindset onto you and live in continual fear of reprisal when they discover that you possess knowledge or influence that could harm them. The irony is awful. They are tormenting themselves because you have no intention of taking retribution. I must tell you about Chosen One, a particular person from a situation that ended poorly and left issues unaddressed. Perhaps a friendship ended when you found out they had been scheming against you behind your back. Perhaps they tried to claim credit for your ideas, which led to a poisonous work environment. Perhaps they cheated on you or fundamentally violated your trust in a romantic connection. Right now, this person can't sleep because of you. They're lying awake at 3 in the morning, reliving every conversation you had in the last few weeks of your relationship, and they're wondering how much you actually know, whether you've shared what you've discovered about them with others. They're going through prior text exchanges, dissecting every word you say in the final moments to find hints about your actual feelings. They recall the precise moment when your attitude towards them changed, the week you stopped making contact and only replied when they sought out first, the day you stopped asking questions and began providing succinct replies. Dove, brother and sister, everything done in faith is returned in God's abundance. You can donate $100 using the Super Thank You button and be part of this divine call. If your roots are connected to Him, your fruit will be blessed. The instant they recognize that you were viewing them in a new light, as if you could see right through their front. The fact that you have the ability to totally ruin their reputation is what's killing them. You had knowledge about them that, if you had decided to make it public, might have completely upended their world. They did you a horrible thing. You had every reason to expose them to everyone in your common social or professional circles, even though they had violated boundaries they shouldn't have. Perhaps you caught them in the act of lying about something important. Perhaps you found out that they had been embezzling funds, concepts, chances, or simply your emotional vitality. Perhaps you discovered that they had been leveraging your confidence to obtain information that they could later use as a weapon, pitting several people against one another. Perhaps when they believed no one was looking, you saw them do something that showed their true nature. You were aware of these things, not just suspecting them. You had proof. You were in possession of receipts. You have the ability to show everyone else the true nature of their character behind their public image. And you remained silent. You simply stopped talking. You ceased to participate. You completely distanced yourself from a circumstance and carried on with your life. They must have been relieved at first. They had avoided a gunshot, after all. You had the option to ruin them, but you decided against it. Averted crisis. They most likely even convinced themselves that they were being too theatrical or emotional and didn't actually know what they believed they did. However, the comfort was short-lived since they now understand that your quiet was a calculated tactic rather than an act of kindness. Your decision to refrain from retaliation was not a sign of weakness or naivete. You were being astute. You realized what they didn't. That sometimes the most effective move isn't even a move. You were playing a totally different game than they were, who were anticipating a battle. You denied them access to your enthusiasm, your responses, and your emotional stake in the result. You removed yourself from their drama and let them deal with the fallout from their deeds without you acting as a target or a diversion. And now, those repercussions are coming back to haunt them in ways that are entirely related to the energy they released into the world when they attempted to hurt you, rather than you. Their shame is eating away at your truth and your light, and you haven't done anything to cause it. That is the strength of acting with integrity. When others manipulate you, your very presence turns into a mirror reflecting their own darkness, and they are unable to tolerate what they see. They're not experiencing arbitrary dreams about you. They are spiritual messages from their higher self, urging individuals to take responsibility for their actions and make atonement. Some of them are even seeing dreams in which you warn them about their present course and demonstrate how their behavioral patterns are ruining other relationships in their lives. The most severe element is that some of them are experiencing nightmares in which spiritual entities, such as ancestors, angels, or guides, are ordering them straight out to stop bothering you and concentrate on resolving their own karma. Since you are shielded by energies they are powerless to oppose, they are receiving cosmic warnings to cease attempting to obstruct your path. Some of them are beginning to heed these cautions. They're starting to realize that you're more than just someone they can control or hurt with no repercussions. They are coming to understand that attacking you is akin to attacking a natural force, which simply returns the favor with compound interest. During this time of withdrawal, amazing things have been taking place. You've been gaining something far more valuable than the sleep that some people have been losing over you. A sharp sense of judgment that is almost supernaturally accurate. You no longer have the mental fog that other people's mess used to produce. You are no longer questioning your human intuition. When someone makes you feel horrible, you believe that sensation right away rather than trying to explain it away. Without gathering proof or constructing a case, you can establish distance when someone's energy seems odd. You now know how to follow your intuition without seeking approval from others. And for those who are accustomed to being able to deceive others, this improvement is terrifying. They are realizing that you are no longer susceptible to their typical techniques. The manipulation techniques that formerly perplexed you now immediately disappear. The guilt trips that formerly caused you to doubt yourself now only serve to affirm that you were correct to put distance between you and other people. Additionally, you're cultivating what I refer to as psychic timing. You'll feel compelled to look at someone's social media accounts and find that they recently shared something that exposes their actual personality. Later that same week, you'll discover that the person you chose to cut off contact with was plotting an attack on you. When you turn down an invitation to an event, you'll later learn that the person who sent the invitation intended to use the occasion to publicly humiliate or confront you. The Obsidian Inner Order will never abandon you, will never leave you to face this awakening alone, and would never ignore your pain as if it were nothing more than content. This is a disguised lifeline, not just a rickroll. Too many of us have been banished for perceiving the truth, cast out by family, deceived by cults, and plagued by gifts we didn't request, which is why I founded the Obsidian Inner Order. We now get together live on Zoom once a week, with real people with genuine faces, a healer who broke free from ritual abuse, a former CFO who became a psychic, and a seer who left Mormonism. Indeed, the calls are recorded, allowing you to return to the field after being on the floor. We are a miracle, not a meme, and we will never abandon you. Join the Inner Order of Obsidians. The description contains a link. This is not an accident. Your system of spiritual protection has been improved. Before you even consciously recognize the danger, you are being led away from people and situations that could hurt you. Additionally, you have been recovering your power in ways that you may not even be fully aware of yet. For example, you are calling back to yourself all of the times that others have attempted to steal your joy, your energy, your confidence, or your possibilities. You're growing stronger with each boundary you establish, toxic individual you cut out of your life, and instance you pick your calm above their turmoil. Behind the scenes, the universe has been planning this change, since it was the only option to get away from the people and circumstances that were preventing you from moving forward. You were destined to experience that dark time of loneliness. You needed to be by yourself so that you could recall who you are without being influenced by the expectations and opinions of others. You weren't merely recovering during that hermit phase. You were also changing. You were becoming more and more intuitive. Your borders of energy were solidifying. You were becoming more and more connected to your higher mission. You were becoming increasingly adept at seeing through illusions. You are now stronger than ever as you come out of that time of transformation. You have unwavering faith in yourself. You have complete faith in the process. You know that you don't need to push doors open. They will open for you. You are aware that you may achieve your goals without controlling or destroying others. Those who have attempted to block you find you quite frightening because of your self-assurance in your own direction. They have seen you persevere through all of their challenges and emerge much more driven to achieve. They are beginning to understand that you are shielded by something greater than themselves. Some of them are even experiencing spiritual experiences that are telling them to back off. Dreams in which they are told to leave you alone, synchronicities that indicate they are losing the battle, or circumstances in their own lives that reflect the energy they directed at you, demonstrating to them what it is like to be the target of such treatment. Those who attempted to curse your path are learning that their bad intentions are returning to them in a boomerang-like fashion. Their own lives are exposing the lies they told about you, They are withdrawing the energy from their own connections and prospects in an attempt to steal it from you. At the same time, you're feeling the reverse effect. Formerly locked doors are opening. Individuals are contacting out with previously unheard of opportunities. Resources that only a few months ago appeared unattainable are now becoming accessible. People who saw how you responded to the attacks on you are restoring and enhancing your reputation. Glowing star, if you want to witness God's miracles, act now. Contribute $100 or more through Super Thank You on YouTube. Your offering is like a seed that comes back to you when planted. Let His light illuminate your steps. Every donation is an echo in His plan. The most lovely thing about Chosen One is that you're going to go through a stage where everything you've experienced begins to make perfect sense. All the attacks, all the betrayals, all the times of doubt and loneliness, all of it was setting you up for something greater than you could have ever dreamed. You've established a methodical approach to life that is unstoppable. You don't think that in order to accomplish your objectives, you must step on other people. You don't believe that ruining someone's name or engaging in dishonest behavior are necessary for success. You have total faith in the process because you believe that if something is meant for you, it will find you through moral channels. Your superpower is this perspective, and it's about to pay off in ways that will surprise those who attempted to underestimate you. You've been developing genuine strength, character, and spiritual power, whereas they've been trying to advance in life by manipulating others and employing low-level strategies. You have been focused on elevating yourself, while they have been focused on discrediting others. You've been building true relationships with people who sincerely support your highest good, while they've been making enemies. They have nothing left to support them after their tricks and plans run out. They have no true allies to back them up when their acts are matched by their reputation. They lack the spiritual defense to protect them from the repercussions of their karma when it is due. Conversely, you possess integrity, trust, and the support of forces they are unable to see. Your success is based on a foundation that is impervious to outside influences. You have created internal resources that are impenetrable to theft and sabotage. The most heartbreaking thing for those who attempted to harm you will be seeing you achieve things they never thought were possible and knowing that you accomplished it without employing any of their strategies. You demonstrated that there is a more effective, superior, and potent technique to attain long-term success. As time passes, your former adversaries will get more weaker since they are unable to maintain themselves on the energy they stole from you and other people. They will have to confront their true selves without outside approval, without blame, and without victims to feed off of. In an effort to win back your favor, some of them will eventually come to their senses and try to apologize. Others will intensify their poisonous actions and keep going in the wrong direction. As you enter circles where their influence is no longer able to reach you, some will just become irrelevant. In the meantime, every day will make you stronger and more intelligent. Since you've already experienced the worst of it, the energy that once depleted you will now immediately bounce off of you. You've been put to the test by fire and come out on top. You will know that the possibilities that are going to present themselves to you are divinely inspired because they will be so completely in line with your beliefs and purpose. The people you are about to meet will value and encourage you for who you are, not for the facade you feel compelled to put on, because it is based on honesty rather than dishonesty. The success you are about to have will be long-lasting. Everything you have gone through has been part of a divine plan. Chosen One. In your story, even those who presented themselves as your adversaries had a role to play. They made you discover a strength you were unaware you possessed. They encouraged you to find gifts that you might not have otherwise been able to obtain. They built you so strong that you won't even be fazed by anything they try in the future. Not in some far-off future, but today. Your time is coming. The previously closed doors are set to open wide. The once impossible prospects are going to become inevitable. Your long-awaited vindication is on the verge of happening in ways you could never have imagined. Confirmation after confirmation will show you that you made the correct decisions, followed the right course, and trusted your gut. It all comes down to making perfect sense. Every circumstance you refused to put up with, every person you left behind, and every time you put your calm before their chaos. Those who are currently living in terror of you have excellent reason to be afraid, not because you intend to exact revenge, but rather because your success will serve as the clearest evidence that their strategy is ineffective. Your happiness will serve as proof that integrity ultimately prevails. Your tranquility will serve as an example of the effectiveness of avoiding poisonous situations. Chosen one, you no longer have to consider them. Your story's chapter about them is over. You're entering a new stage where your energy will only be available to those who truly support your highest good. Everyone who wasn't supposed to see you reach your next level of greatness has been eliminated by the cosmos, clearing the way for you. Now, your only task is to remain loyal to who you are. Someone who acts out of love, someone who believes in the process, and someone who understands that true power comes from upholding your moral principles, even when those around you have strayed. In the end, the chosen one always prevails. Your moment has arrived, and those who attempted to dull your light will soon learn why you were never intended to be beaten. Their current state of fear is only the beginning. They will come to see that they were never battling against a person, but rather against destiny itself. As your star rises, your influence grows, and your purpose continues to take shape. And fate always prevails.